That was the other one. It was just the way he fucking was sly. It was like, he would make you feel bad about the fact that, okay, you couldn't say this or say the other. You know, if I was depressed about somebody, why? Because I had somebody celebrating his life, and now I realise now as well that they were feeling just as sick the way he fucking twisted all my fucking lines. Well, luckily they had a scapegoat, a little kite, so it wasn't as like you fucking cunt sort of situation. It was kind of like Keith. Oh, Keith's a fucking cunt. Used to make out he was Paul. I even admitted to it. Yeah, I'm like John and you're like Paul, if anything. Why? Because he was really inspired by me all the time. I was the talentless one out of the two, but he followed everything I fucking did. Basically, to the point where when I died, he fucking has dreams about me in his sleep. What? And he just used that against me. And I was the only one who actually told Laura I fucking did not like John Lennon for what he did to Cynthia Lennon. There was one conversation where I hadn't really spoken. I struggled to speak, so I'd just speak in angry rants because I didn't know where to begin. And I just started, and it just did not make sense, but that was the best they had. And they hadn't heard me talk. So she would actually ask me, and she knew who the Beatles were because that fucking kike went on about, oh, the Beatles album, that's what made it so special, that's what made it so sweet. He didn't even say, oh yeah, you know who the Beatles are that time. Why? Because fucking I was there. So we just piped down when he'd rave on about the Beatles. I remember going on album after album to the point it was almost like he was trying to make you feel bad for not having money to be able to buy album after album of the fucking Beatles. Him and Nick Pearce loved doing that. And then what they do is they fucking celebrate their fucking latest games, consoles of games, and then they'd be like, oh, let's talk about Jaws, the Shark PS2 game, to make it look like we care about your feelings, Sam. We're basically inadvertently taking the piss. We play these great games and we talk about this game he doesn't even own, but it's shit because it's a PS2 game of just a shark. He's such an idiot. He just loves biting things like a dog. He loved taking the piss out of Peanut. And it's like, that was when I just walked away again. I thought, I'm sitting on a bench here, they're trying to make it look like they're my friend, like, oh, they're shooting me, to the point where I actually felt guilty on it, thinking maybe they were my friend, and I realised, hang on a minute, now I've realised, hang on a minute, it's played on my mind for years, you know, stuff like that plays on my mind, whether I've made the right decision, but it's the feeling I have to go by a lot, especially with that kite. You don't really know what he's getting at, because he's so inadvertent, he's not like Dr. Carr. Dr. Carr, I pushed him and 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 I pushed him. I said all the worst things. Why? Because I wanted to see how fucking powerful this man was. Why? Because I have to learn the hard way. I tested him, I tested him, I tested him. Stay away from my kids! Scared the shit out of him. Scared the shit out of me. Must have scared the shit out of him. He'd never fucking pushed his dad to that level. He'd never seen the power of Dr. Carr. It was like, wow, that was like watching an acting scene. It was like watching something out of Anthony Hopkins. Somebody just break off into fucking Anthony Hopkins anger mode. It was like, Jesus Christ. To the point where I fucking said that as a joke. Basically, I did this with Dr. Carr to Paul. I'd love to say Dr. Carr was the gaze of riding past. He's like, I remember that one. And I just said that again, and Paul was like, yeah, because he could tell it was going to be. And I just said that, and he wanted us to move on. He was worried. It looked like it's scary as fuck. I mean, it was just such a powerful line, so simple. Basically, I just fucking I said everything he did not want to hear. I used my ego to fight him, basically. So I needed to know that my ego needed to be in check. I need the devil to tell me that personally. Why? Because I like to push people who I respect. Why? So I want to see every level of their power. I want to know this is why it's that bad, and that's why I do not want to do that. He was there as well. He heard it just as much, and he just fucking thought, he just forgot about it. Like, that didn't matter. That was like one of the most powerful speeches he ever made to me. It was like, that was brilliant. Stayed with me for life. It was only until I started learning to love myself again that I started learning to love him right again, and Laura right again. Still, I'd have my episodes, as you've all seen, because that was a lot of fun. Well, it was the first time. Now, absolutely, I fucking love them through and through. I messaged Dr. Cobble. I don't want to message Laura, but I just wanted to send him a couple of movies of personally to him. You're fucking mint, mate. Thank you, Master. I've never felt this great before, basically. And I've credited Mummy Tess and at Folk Girl 84, to say thanks to this lady. She was the one fan who actually believed in me. I fucking changed my tune, and she released the fucking anger, the pain, the torment, the fucking frustrations which I've felt for the last like Brittany, 13 years. It's been probably more or less. Right, I'm trying to think, how old was I 13 years ago? 10 years ago, I was 17. Nuts when you start thinking of it like that. When you hit 27, it's like, fucking hell, 10 years ago, I was 17. I remember 17 was quite like, ooh, I'm 17. It takes you straight back to 17, basically. You just remember your orange Adidas fucking... I hate it when they try and just genderize it. Edge of 17, it's just fucking everybody's focusing on this one 17-year-old girl, like, hurry up and fuck her quick, sort of. It's disgusting. Like, no, it's a person. 17 should just be a number. It's like a personal fucking time for everybody. You remember what you looked like when you were 17. It takes you straight back to the memories. 17 for me was great. Why? Because I fucking just hit New College, met Elliot Overton, and it was like, fucking hell, I'm awake now. As he used to say, you're awake, brother, now. And then fucking wake up. Feel good about yourself for once. Learn to love yourself is what he was trying to teach me. Fuck everybody else. Fuck that. Fuck this and the other. Let's get fucking fucked. Just remind ourselves that everybody loves us and we love them. It felt great, mate. Like I said, I fucking loved it. They were such a great group of friends, I didn't feel pressured to pop my virginity, sort of thing. It was flattering that Brenda Allison noticed, fucking hell, Aidan was an idiot. He shouldn't have bullied him all fucking class in politics. The way she got Aidan back, and we didn't even go further than that, was that she took a walk with me to the park, and he was shitting himself. He thought, God, everything that like, literally, he fucking... he was like, he did an Adam cut, but this guy and me, we made up, and fucking he was decent. Why? Because he learned in that moment when we went to the park, and I knew he would learn because there was something decent about him. There was something a bit more Robert about him. Like he took the piss, but you couldn't help but respect him for it, because he did it well. He did it right in your face. He didn't do it inadvertently. You knew exactly what he was doing. He was like, "Ha, you fucking dick! I've never heard anybody just suddenly tell me that fucking I think it's politics." He said, basically, we're gonna have an extra long summer this year. It's gonna be extra sunny. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake! And Aidan Dodds was like, "You dick, mate. Why the fuck?" I was like, mate, I can't get shrooms now. That was the one. I didn't have much money at the time, and I was just looking forward to shroom season that year. It's been a bad year last year. I thought, oh, a season of free drugs. It's great living in the country. He just loved it, mate. Him and his mate ripped the shit out of each other. But how it looked like to me and Brenda was that he just used me to rip it because he fancied his fucking classmate, and to flirt with her. I thought, I like Brenda from the get-go, Aidan. I just saw her and I thought, whoa, she's lovely. And I saw you and I thought, fucking jammy bastard. He's got to have some kind of charisma. And then you let yourself down there. But I could see you loved it. I didn't she was basically gonna go all the way with me, sort of thing. She felt sorry for me that much, basically. She was, and no, I respectfully went back to the party with her. We didn't do a thing. It was just to fucking make him think. It was just to make him think. Shit. I shouldn't have fucking used this dickhead who I would have been best mates with. I could have gone shroom picking with. It could have been sick. I was looking forward to having a friend who I felt like fucking. He ticked the boxes, and then he just, it was like, right, I'm gonna get you back straight off. Adam used this as a way to say Sam loves fucking other people's girlfriends. He loves getting off on the fact that, so they just thought I was a girlfriend, felt like, to the point where I used to overtly stare. Why? Because I knew Adam would never have the balls to do that, and I knew that because she's with a bloke, nothing's gonna happen here. I love doing that and letting him know personally that fucking, she keeps staring at me, Adam. That's her fault, that is, because it was just such an arrogant fucking, it was your fault, you were staring at me, but he'd never fucking say otherwise. It was brilliant. That's not how Adam did it. It scared the fuck out of him, and it worried him, and that he twisted it around and went back to his mummy and daddy and fucking said, oh, Sam loves fucking other people's girlfriends, basically. He never said, oh, Sam's actually a virgin. Why? Because you can see it in my fucking eyes, Adam, and you could. That was the whole point where you were trying to gay me up. You were trying to pretend like you did not know. You were going to let me, you knew I was a fucking virgin. That's why you wanted to fuck me more than anybody. It was like really gay. I was fucking blatant, Adam. Why? Because fucking I had still this angry rage of frustration. Like, I could have had a real good time there, here and everywhere. And because of the way you fucking hurt Laura, I had to just suffer and suffer and suffer some more so I could... Well, I've messaged your own father, as in the devil himself. Never seen him on Facebook before. It's almost like over a night he thought, this is brilliant. I feel great about myself again. I'm just going to bang up a Facebook account. 5 friends, Adam's not on there. What a fucking dot. Why? He fucking hated paedophiles. He hated it when people fucking turned something which could have been a great moment into something paedophilic. So they can basically celebrate themselves, make out they're better than everybody else, and really they don't have any fucking content to say. The only ever great things Adam said to me was shit which his dad said. That was the only time he listened to his dad, was to fucking basically, and that's why it felt sometimes hurtful, because he would say it with spite when his dad was saying it with genuine niceness, genuine, like, this is lovely that Adam actually wants to ask me shit for once because Peanut made him fucking think. And then he realised, no, he's basically asking me shit to make himself sound more intelligent so he can use it against Peanut to make Peanut feel like a fucking idiot, feel completely unloved, completely isolated. It was like, as he was, celebrating the fact that he was now Sam's friend, going back to them saying, oh no, he's still a bully here, oh, he fucks other people's girlfriends, all of this. Right, Adam, it was obvious. Why? I mean, come on. I had no girls around me. The one girl you knew I messaged last was Sarah Cutler. I was trying to get a tenner off her, and fucking I threatened her, and she was going to ring the police on me, and I apologised to her at Christmas. And she was the only person who I felt confident enough to just feel that hurt about how many people have robbed me, Adam. And what you would do, naturally, I wish I just never gave you back the 20 quid, but I needed to just be a good person there, turn the other cheek, and that fucking just directly both explain it to the people who matter. So suddenly you don't fucking, and you cannot twist my words, because my words are now being directly fucking said. You know, like how Mick twisted Keith's words, exactly like that. Made Keith look like a fucking horrible, dirty nonce. Well, I looked like I was fucking bastardising Keith right at the beginning. Why? Because fucking that's how much Mick bastardised Keith. It's only when you realise, hang on a minute, and you grow a brain, you realise Keith was the one who cared. Keith was the only one I can remember in interviews where he actually sounded like he knew what he was talking about. He was passionate in what he did. It made you want to listen to him in interviews. It made you want to listen to his music when you heard it on the radio and shit. Because you knew this was going to be quality. He really put his thoughts and his passions into this. He really put his efforts and his thoughts into this. And that's why I kept robbing them. Because they kept, yeah, let's make this band. And I thought, yeah, I'm just going to string them along, basically, so they can see how great and how hard I work personally. I wrote 82 with them. They did not come up with anything. I can't think of, apart from Dan Brown came up with the chords. The only contribution, Dan Brown came up with the chords. Adam did nothing. I can't think of one line he came up with. I just, in tribute, fucking was trying to be nice. Why? Because I wanted to cheer Laura up, basically, and make her feel good about her life. And I realised he's the one who's making her feel shite about her life, and it's really not nice, because he's played us both ways, and his folks too, and my folks. And like we said, they loved each other. It was terrible what this one paedophile did to two families, basically, who loved each other, were on the same team. It was meant to be beautiful. It was really lovely. And you cherish the moments with your family members actually tried to save this relationship because of the fact that they could see it was just a beautiful, sweet relationship, which was not done with intention or malice. We just stumbled into it. It was like heaven for me, because it was just easy. As in, it didn't feel like it was great. Yeah. That's when things got fucking complicated. When I really distanced myself from how I distanced myself from Laura. Adam loved that, because then it was suddenly like I was this caged animal who he could fucking talk to his beautiful, sweet sister about, condescend me with. And I'm thinking, but you bully her in your own time. I mean, what's the other one? What's the tile one? I'll get the fucking tile one. Why? Because it was just it looked like he was this fucking decent bloke who just loved art and culture. As soon as he said it, it was like, you're a cunt. She was looking for you for support. Why? Because she fucking thought you were a big brother who was meant to fucking look after her and make her feel good about herself, like how my big sister would do. That she could, I remember one time messaging my big sister. She celebrated that message and she put it on her wall. I just thought, what song do you prefer, Anna? And she fucking put it on her wall. I was embarrassed about how much I loved that. Like, yeah, she loved that. Why? Because that's what a fucking older sibling's meant to do for a younger sibling. Not fucking do shit like this. Basically make her feel sick about the 60s movement and Bob Dylan. She hated Bob Dylan. She hated the 60s movement. Why? Because of fucking Adam, basically. What? It's a pattern from Alhambra. As in, she's gone, what? As in, what the fuck is that? You're meant to be celebrating you as Adam Carr, and you put up a fucking wall of patterns. And, right, it's a pattern from Alhambra in Spain. Remember, we visited it. Stop trying to be indie, you bellend. It's always Ed Rowlands. Basically, Ed Rowlands was the one who obviously wanted to fuck her. So that when I started fucking showing that she actually means something to me, and I will fucking kill you, Ed Rowlands, I have never seen him again since. Luke Parry and me are still friends. Julie loves the fact that I celebrated Sam Parry. Personally went out my way to let him know how it was brilliant that you played Birmingham in the five-a-side. You were one of the best footballers I knew, mate. because he was going through a hard time and he needed to be boosted back up again. We, the Parry brothers, yeah, we got along well. What, Luke Parry, Ed Rowland's cool fucking cousin, who everybody went on about. Ed Rowland was the weird cousin who Luke was. You just laugh about him. Like, basically, that was how me and Luke got along well. We both had weird cousins that we were able to laugh at them, basically, for the first time together, because they celebrated themselves in our faces for the last 10 years, and we just believed every bit of shit they said. That was Tim. You never knew Tim, Adam. Six-pack Tim. That was Luke's little fucking... Luke who had a six-pack, 1, 2, 3. Luke who had a six-pack, 4, 5, 6. That was Luke's own little joke. I loved it, mate. Why? Because you never had a six-pack, 1, 2, 3, did you? A six-pack of 4, 5, 6. To the point where Tim was the guy who hated it, even though he had a he had a Tim pack, mate. He was slim, Tim pack. He looked great. Tim who fucking skateboarded. You thought you were this great man who said this great thing of, oh, get back into skateboarding. Laura said that. Why? Because she loved the fact that I loved skateboarding once. You didn't say that though, did you? You didn't say, Laura would love it if you got back into skate. I would have fucking sung and danced. No, he'd never say things which actually were true. You know, to make people feel good about themselves, to reconcile this love. He was the worst quarter ever. He was just a kike. He basically made you feel alienated from the best family I ever knew. And I wish I just never hung round with him and just said, okay, yeah, I'll pop round. Why? Because then I would have had strength in numbers. They could have seen how fucking manipulative you were. Seen how much of a fucking kite you were. And I wish I had. The only decent thing I did do was, oh yeah, he plays on fucking Edge. See how he's like on fucking Red Dead. And he never thought of doing that, did he? Red Dead 1, that was the only thing which I used to think, yeah, maybe she actually believed in me for that. And it used to put comfort in my heart again, regardless of everything that had happened between us, of just the fact that fucking... she knew personally I went outside the box with my thoughts on Red Dead 1 because of the fact there's a mission where Bonnie's about to get hung. And I started looking like I was about to cry. I was that fucking angry because I was saying, look, if you follow that fucking linear mission, you go past that one step, that stall's gonna go. You're not gonna have enough fucking time to fucking... Do you know, by 1960, they were fucking straight... break. I mean, this is 1913, so they're getting like, what, it's about 50 years. I really went into the detail of the development of the knot, knowing that she would not have very long to live. It's a very serious fucking thing getting hung. I wanted to be there before they even fucking walked there. I ran round the side of them. He was like, what are you doing? Why aren't you going to the starting point? I was like, mate, fuck off. Fuck the starting point. I want to do one thing and save that lady immediately. Red Dead 1 was a great game. It was an outside-the-box game. Why? Because Adam never played Vice City. He never realised, fucking hell, the people at GTA loved that kind of thing. That was what they loved. That was the point of Vice City. That's why it was such a hidden gem. Why? Because it's a morally choiced game. There's Colonel Cortez, and I always let him down. Why? Because I got that depressed. I just pretended to be Adam in a game to show this is how fucking horrible it is. It made you feel horrible in a game. Basically, just carry on playing this game after you've done the right bits to make it morally right. Great. Fucking brilliant. But I just knew one thing. The great thing with Vice City, yeah, you can get it. Fred explained it to me. I always loved it being explained. He said the great thing with Vice City, it's a fucking moral choice, mate. And there was only a fair few people who knew this. People who really actually looked and loved Vice City. That's why it was such a crass comment when Matt fucking Kite, whatever he's called, fucking went, I love playing Vice City. She immediately, yeah, brilliant, you like I love shooting hookers and fucking something else. And that's the worst comment ever. Like, that, But Colonel Cortez, and you can carry on all the way to the mansion, beat Sonny Forelli. It's shit when you get there. You feel really bad for doing so. And sometimes you'll kid yourself and you go, oh, maybe I should do the motorbike mission is brilliant. And then you think, who fucking went on about the motorbike mission? Like it was some great fucking mission. Dan Brown. God. To the point where Dan Brown was just as bad. He was a fucking cunt as well. He didn't come along to have my back. He came along and sided with Adam immediately. It was like, oh, we're part of the same team. Dan Brown used to always go on about how he baffed his sister. It's just disturbing. It was like, you never baffed your sister, Dan. Jill did, you fucking weirdo. Why did you bring that up in conversation when we were like 6, 7? Trying to make out, well, he was trying to make out that I should feel sorry for him. How it came over to me, it was like he was trying to sell his sister to me. I felt sorry for his sister. I fucking popped the fucking cutlery together after she finished and went, look what she's done, Dan. She even put the cutlery together. Did she? Did she really? Yeah, she did. Why, to say, fuck you, as in, I put the cutlery together. At least I did something. You just fucking started going on about baffing your sister. It never happened. At the point of, I got along with Jill. I remember one time I was at the doctor's with Dan, and I realised, fucking hell, this is a breath of fresh air. I don't feel great. And I realised this was the reason why I fucking was friends with Dan. The same reason why I was friends with Adam. It was nothing to do really with them. I could say that they had a decent mum. And Jill was a decent mum. We all loved Jill. But Bishop Orme loved Jill, and she was worried I would fall under the category opinion, so she said it before anybody else did. To make you realise, that's brilliant. She was working loads of jobs. Oh no, the bitch that bore me fucking curses Jill, to tell you the truth. I thought she was brilliant. I just loved that vision of, she was working jobs. She just thought, fuck it, I'll have more kids and make a bit more money there. I thought that was quite sweet. Bitch that bore me would give you a synopsis of this. She fucking realised that it was too much for her working in the NHS. She thought, I'll just have more kids. So it just made her care less for Jamie Brown and Dan. And she fucked off to Australia. It didn't work, so she came back here to live off the welfare state. Great. And she's some great person, is she, Sam? That's how the bitch that bore me says it. Absolutely, mate. The bitch that bore me just sees things like that you would have never thought. You are, obviously, you were taken in by us. That's how the bitch that bores me sees it. Immediately. Whew. She just fucking sees right through. She says these sharp comments which you just never saw coming. And, well, it's fucking true, is it not? I mean, you got loads of kids under her. The only one who's decent is Jamie Brown, to the point of he realised he was Big Brother Jamie Brown at one point. Everybody loved him. Everybody looked up. She continued to keep having more kids. To the point where he thought, fuck this, I'm just going to move to stay in Australia because I can't. It's exhausting being Big Brother Jamie Brown now because you fucking keep banging more out. Jamie Brown thought, fucking, I'm going to get a girlfriend, stay in Australia and get a decent job. Jamie Brown basically wore it because Dan Brown, Adam Brown, and basically the Dan and Adam Brown show. They loved making you feel like I was obsessed with Jessie. I better use that one against you with the cutlery. No, I felt sorry for her because Dan kept going on about how much he loved baffing her. I thought it was very disturbing. I could tell he was an abused kid, as in nobody listened to him, and he was obviously, this is the reason why nobody listened to him. I just used to switch off and go on about eating my big sandwiches to the point where that's their memory of me. I had a big lunch. Why? The more they talk their shit, Laura, the more you just wanted to eat food. I used to prepare my food with my mum because I realised, Jesus, they just go on about such shite that you fantasise about really stupid stuff to just try and feel great again. They never let you have it. Never let you just imagine, just for 1 second, that you did go in a suitcase and watch Spider. He rinsed you, mate. Rinsed you off. He didn't let you just imagine yourself through it. And then he comes back to me and goes, sometimes it's great to just imagine, Sam, instead of just doing it. Like he's some kind of genius. It's like, you can't even write it. That's what I mean. And I wasn't a druggie by this point, so my focus was just eat loads of food. You know, it's great distraction. And it made you look like a king amongst them. Like you were the king guard, having to fucking guard these 2 fucking kikes for basically all the other children, because these 2 were blatant paedophiles. The more he went on about baffing his sister, the more you really wanted to kill him. Laura, to just clarify, I never spoke to Jessie. That was the only thing I fucking did. To the point where Dan oversold Jessie to me, and he did the same to Jessie, because he was even more jealous of you, Laura. He wanted to be Jessie, to be the one to. It was like, what the fuck is this? You like literally, you 2 are like literally like the mixed version of the Stones. You know, we had a good vision here. Like when I tried to play Van Morrison, Bright Side of the Road. They just bastardised it. They just took the piss. I thought, fuck this. I got hold of Green Day Dookie. Fucking, I had that one up my sleeve. And I joined up with Idris Honor and Jack Brown. I got hold of Green Day fucking Dookie. I think it was just Basket Case. Because, you know, anything further than that, there's too many fucking naughty words. We were in year 3. But it was just a great moment for kids. That was the greatness of that era of music, rock music, because it was like, if anybody had an older brother and older cousin, you'd be like 7 years old or 6 years old, and they said, go on, play a band or play some music, and fucking, to the point where we didn't even dance to it. We just were like, yeah, mate, we're the ones who put on this. You might all dance and shit, but we're the ones who put on this fucking album. To the point where they would sheepishly go like that. And I was thinking, mate, don't even do that. Why? Because of the fact that fucking that just takes away the impact of the fucking song, Idris and Jack. We were the ones who played fucking Green Day fucking Basket Case. Them 2 little kikes didn't see it coming. That's why it just felt extra fucking bad. Why? Because you could see how much it hurt their feelings. Why? Because they took the piss out of Van Morrison, Bright Side of the fucking Road. It's the one I wanted to do. I loved Van Morrison. And they just took the piss out of it. I thought, you know what? I don't have to do Van Morrison. I've got Green Day fucking Dookie, you kike. I never banged that one out for you, because I thought, if you're going to take the piss out of fucking Bright Side of the Road that much, what's the point in even fucking mentioning Green Day Dookie? You haven't earned it. The only one I was pleased to know, like Green Day Dookie, was Dr. Carr. And it just surprised me. It was like, he actually listened to it. You could tell he actually listened to it. And that was my argument. That's why I used to play him. Oh, you like Green Day, no, you don't like Green Day. And I fucking play him, make them like 1 minute they like Green Day, and the next minute, no, he didn't like Green Day, he didn't like Green Day. And play him, like, because Dr. Carr liked Green Day, he actually liked that album, he thought it was sick, he actually listened to it. Listened to it track after track, he listened to the lyrics. That actually meant something. I was like a mate, I was like Keith sort of mate. Like, you know, like everybody else is like, oh, this is a bit too much and all of that. Then they get into metal, and they made a point of never getting into 90s fucking rock. And if they did, they got into Weezer Blue album. Like really, yeah, it was good stuff. It's not Green Day, mate. Green Day Dookie with the dogs chucking shit at each other. They never listened to Green Day. Why? Because I listened to Green Day, and Green Day scared him. Scared Adam when he popped it on. He didn't expect that. Why? Because Dr. Carr was very good at taming that paedophile. Paedophile Adam listened to madness with the rest of Reuben and the rest of all the, you know, rich kids, basically. That was the big moral lesson. That was what made me love Laura even more, basically. Adam loved it. And I went to his parties and I met all his fucking Ponzi mates who were from like really rich schools. I was really left out and they loved it, mate. I never liked Ruben. I used to see him and I really thought, Laura, and I felt bad for ages, maybe I should just put it behind me now because Laura's in my heart and that. I couldn't. Every time I saw that Ruben kike, I just used to stare at him and if to say like, yeah, what you going to do now, huh? You're just going to, what, keep your head down and fucking act like you fucking, almost like a pole to the fucking bus stop. He could not look me in the fucking eye. He used to keep his head down. Every day I'd see him walk back on my way home, pretty much, by the bus stop. I think it was a certain time. It might not have been like, if you'd fucking smoked a spliff, I can't remember. I don't know if it, yeah, something like that. It was a bit more half 40s. I can't remember, mate. All I know is that he could not look me in. Like all them kikes, Laura, even Adam's fucking bully, none of them could look me in the eye. That was the whole point with Nick Pearce challenging. He didn't challenge me. He just spoke to you right in front of me. Dr. Carr loved it. Why? Because Dr. Carr was out and it was like you were doing his bidding for him. You didn't say anything, you waited for them to say something. It was even more of a bidding of Dr. Carr because Dr. Carr kept it jolly. Why did Dr. Carr keep it jolly? Because he noticed this is great. This guy, Peanut of the Walnut, he's really, I don't have to be angry anymore. I can make the jolly jokes as in pizza and take the piss out of him like that because you fucking go nuts at him. You made him scared of being alive. You know, he'd be all self-satisfied. I'd come round every day and eat his fucking Jaffa cakes. I'd have a little ball with me. Always wanted to try and get him to play football. Me and Luke Barry one time got him to go round the block. And he had his earphones in the whole time. It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing to, when I think back, to associate with him, basically. To be that fucking rude, basically. That's, in my opinion, you've got to have mental problems to be that fucking, like... Oh yeah, I didn't want to go. His mum was just relieved that somebody actually wanted to get him out of the house, that she got him out of the house. So thank fuck, get out of there. I liked Elamar. She liked hugging. I didn't like John Pearce. I liked Elamar. Get nasty at Elamar. Why? Because it hurt me when Elamar and John Pearce just split apart. Like Elamar was nothing. I loved Elamar. I loved that she was a reporter who met Ronaldinho, Ronaldo. Did Nick listen to any of this? No, he just goes, yeah, I like Ronaldo from Brazil. He never actually listened to the fact that Elamar fucking interviewed. If he'd have said that, my mum interviewed fucking Ronaldinho for Brazil, he would have sounded sick. Why? Because it's immediate humble. It's giving credit where credit's due to somebody he loves. No, he didn't love his mum. He loved his dad, John. So his mum just fucked off back to Brazil. His sister I never saw again. And... it was just him and John, to the point where John, Adam consistently pointed out, moved to Spain because the house was just lifeless as soon as Elamar went. It was like a whole different... Adam took me there, like, this is a great house. This house was shite. And they were like, I was like, oh, what's that happening? They were trying to make me like John Pearce. And I just thought, this guy is a kike. This guy is a fucking kike. I hated him. Why? Because he was just like Mike Dalton. Trying to look like this great guy in society. He was just abused, a fine lady. Who, like, that was the only good part of going to Nick Pearce's house. Oh, you've got to think, Rebekka, I fucking hate on Elamar the same way I hate on the bitch that bore me. Why? Because it just, fucking hell, these abusive bastards just fucking basically made you feel bad for loving the people you loved originally. That was what I loved about Nick Pearce's house. Me and Elamar got along really well to the point it looked like we were going to fuck each other over dinner. I was only 12. I was more giddy than she was. It just ended up, I like hugging too. You know, I just like being cuddly. I like ladies. She saw it right through. It was the only time it was a good time. When I stopped going there, she thought, that was your one good mate who made your mum feel good. And you had he had a great friendship with it. Well, it was your one mate who didn't fucking They very obviously fancied your sister. He just followed her around and listened to everything she had to say. To the point where I know fucking the best film courtesy of Rebekka Pearce. He never listened to one of Rebekka Pearce's fucking film suggestions. He just thought, oh, my big sister does this, I'm going to do this instead because I'm Nick Pearce. It's like, how can you have a sister this great and you just fucking shit on her because you're Nick Pearce and you're better than them all? Huh? You didn't listen to her once. Best bit about getting a lift from Nick, to the point where when John was like, oh, Sam, do you want a lift back? It was like, there's no Rebekka Pearce in that fucking car. There's no entertainment. Fuck off. That was the point of Rebekka Pearce. She fucking was brilliant. That's where I get my ability to tell stories on film, because I listened every fucking morning to Rebekka Pearce talk to me about different... Why? Because she saw how much I loved listening to her thoughts on film, that she just walked me through TV. She knew I did not have Sky. She didn't make me feel bad for not having Sky. She just shared her experience of what it was like. It was brilliant. She really was humble. She really made me feel like at home. I loved it. Loved Rebekka Pearce and I loved Elamar Pearce. And basically, Wara, Adam and fucking Nick never mentioned Elamar or Rebekka, to the point where you would have loved them. They fucking were mint. That was the one thing I really would go angry at Nick. Like, how can you not fucking mention Rebekka Pearce to Laura? She would have been a great hero for Laura. Laura would have loved Rebekka. That was your responsibility to do that. Why, I'm not going to remember it at the time, am I? It's not like I'm writing notes. I'm a depressed 13-year-old fucking kid who's been bullied relentlessly, just like Rebekka Pearce, Elamar Pearce, Fiona Carr, Robert Carr, by you, Nick Pearce, and Adam Carr, who were like the most bullied kids in the year, because you two just look like... Nick Pearce looks... How did he go out with this really hot girl one time and now he looks like a woman? Immediately you're worried. Why? Because it seems to me he's just using, trying to look like a woman, like he's a modern man now and he's called fucking Freya Pearce. He basically bastardizes Rebekka Pearce completely by doing that. Why? Because he never listened to a fucking word she had to say. I listened to everything she had to say, in the sense of she was mint. It was like, it was like, what was great about it, and that's why I always went round there, was because it was like when Rebekka was in, it was fucking sick. Well, it was like having a cool older sister who said the shit you wanted to hear. And she was a hero of mine. Like I said, she is a fine lady. She just kept herself all natural sort of thing. That made me really horny for her. And people just dismissed her, because she was just a beautiful natural lady who just kept it fucking natural. Basically kept it fucking beautiful, and I just followed her around like a hound dog, because I knew she was worth following, listening to, and just respecting straight off the cuff. Like I said, she made that as soon as Rebekka Pearce moved out of fucking year 11, I never got a lift from the Pearces again. That's why it was like, oh, do you want a lift, Sam? Like, we're the great Pearces, have you? But no, the only reason, Laura, I went in the Pearce's car was because of Rebekka Pearce. I looked up to her to fuck. I just thought she was a really cool, independent lady who just like wowed me. It wasn't the fact that she was just a really fine lady. She wowed me with her mind as well. Like, you could just tell she had that about her immediately. Like with Folk Girl 84, on her own, but she stood strong, and you could tell that's a mind there, like the Keith Richards syndrome, where everybody's overlooked her when actually she was a really fine lady with a really fucking good mind, worth listening to. The point of Laura, I have got Rebekka Pearce's movies, bar the ladies, man. That is funny because of the tattoo on his arse, and basically they're all gay, and they always see this smiling arse as he runs away. And he's like, I was doing some wrestling with my Will Ferrell and shit. And he basically, as this guy's doing wrestling with another bloke, Will Ferrell's there. No, not Will. Will Ferrell's wrestling away, and then you got fucking this. I can't remember his name, but just this dirty dog basically going around making love with all the fine ladies. brilliant. And off he runs when the fucking big wrestler comes back, and he's just got this smiling fucking smile. It's just like, yeah, okay, yeah, that's like the best example film of just seeing the funny side of, if there is a philanderer, that's how it would be funny to be. You know, a lady's fucking not being satisfied well enough because this fucking idiot's fucking playing wrestling all the time, using all his energy on wrestling with other men. So this bloke just comes in, makes love of a real fine, puts that smile on her face, see you later, and off he runs. It's brilliant. It's just a lovely concept. And that is like the answer, like I said, to Heaven's Gate. She's just literally walked her through the reasons for Heaven's Gate. It is the worst example of rape ever. The point I guarantee you, Nick would have vaguely heard Heaven's Gate and just watched it, thinking, oh, I'm supporting and, you know, watching a movie, which he missed out all the best bits of the fact that she said, I don't understand how this movie had Chris Christopherson and Christopher Walken in it, and it was just a celebration of rape. In a movie, it was like they just fucking found a way to literally write a movie to script, and it literally is that. Like, to the point, I did exactly what Rebekka Pearce did without even remembering. So it was only in hindsight afterwards. Fucking hell, that's exactly how Rebekka Pearce explained it. This is where I got it from. I've forgotten that. Like, why? Because they basically, it was like they were jealous of the fact that I love Rebekka Pearce more than any of them. I didn't think much of the rest of them, apart from Elamar Pearce. And it was like, oh, so they're just going to bastardise them two people, which made the Pearces great. That's why, like, Elamar was on mine and Luke Parry's side. Go on, Nick, go out for once, you fucking kike. Not being this horrible, fucking loafing around kike who thinks he's better than everybody else because he's got this great mind and his brilliant dad. And his great dad who his wife left and his sister doesn't even go to see. Why? Because they're just disgusting with it. Why? Because Elamar and Rebekka just think, well, you know what? We're a fucking good duo. And Rebekka's got the best taste in film. We're entertained. And if they're not watching film, Rebekka's the most. And it's not just the fact that, I love the fact that she was just into American politics. The only thing Nick Pearce would say, oh yeah, Rebekka's into American politics, like she was just some kind of idiot who fucking didn't think right about politics. You didn't even look at politics, Nick. You never went on about politics. I never heard you talk about politics. For all your intelligence, Nick, I never heard you speak politics. I listened to Politics by Rebekka Pearce. It was sick. You made it exciting. I backed Clinton. Why I knew so much about Hillary Clinton and Obama was because of Rebekka Pearce. I do not remember who she backed. She was very balanced. She was letting you make your own mind up. In that case, because she could see, basically, I don't get this level of TV or entertainment. Nick flaunts it in front of me and then plays his favourite fucking Guitar Hero game in front of me, which I'm bored as fuck with. Well, I used to play on a football game next to him on his PSP sometimes, until he moved all his shit basically down from the room into the living room so I could stop playing on the pet. Because I came round to his house. Elamar and Rebekka I got along with really well. I just played on his PSP on a football game, so I didn't have a football game as good as that. While he went on it, I hated Guitar Hero because of the fact that every time I was trying to play this fucking football game, you just did, and then occasionally you go, hey. It was almost like he was getting annoyed with the fact you're enjoying his PSP without his company. What did I do in return? I said, I'd like to go on Pokemon, Nick. I just erased his account. Deleted his RuneScape account. I took his fucking password off him. I was the one who took his password off him. Why? Because of what he said about Laura. One fucking thing about Laura and I was like, fuck off. Why? Because I knew how much Nick Pearce loved RuneScape. I knew Adam and Nick talked to each other. Adam would have explained it to Nick that I don't think Adam even fucking told his parents about the Lego head. I thought that'd be the main thing. I thought, fair enough. Why? Because Adam knew, it's almost like that his parents knew that he did deserve it more than you. You flaunted all this fucking Lego in front of him. You did an absolute James Carpenter on him when you brought really great Viking Lego and you brought him this really tiny box with like the rowing boat for the stable nigger. Made me hate Vikings for ages, Adam. Cheers. Cheers, mate. To the point where Big Brother Paul and Ender saved the day. No, it was off the back of that. So it was almost like you were going, almost like you were just taking the piss out of the fact that I no longer had those holidays due to Big Brother Paul and Linda, because you fucked that up for me, Adam. You created that family feud. You created my own family feud, not to mention the family feud which my family have you. My mother does no longer have. Why? Because it was like relieving to hear that bloody hell, that moment where she and Fiona fucking had, it was real. And it was just relieving to hear, oh my God, he gets it now. It was, and I was like, Stella, honestly, we were both fucking blanked. It was nothing to do with Dr. Kai. He was the main fucking man. It was completely Adam. She just agreed with me. It was like, you could hear the relief. And she thought, you're saying it that well, Sam. I don't need to hear it anymore. Let's just focus on nice things, basically. First time my mother's ever done that. Why? Because I was that manipulatively abused. She was always pin-picking at everything I said to make sure I said the right fucking thing. Always. I got one little bit wrong along the excerpts. It was like, no. And she would just fuck the whole sentence. So I fucking made sure I got it right. Because that's how much she fucking thought. If they're going to make you look like an idiot, Peanut, I might as well fucking make sure you stammer your points with every fucking detailed reason. Jamie Brown was the same, or just used to sit next to him, play on GTA. They hated it because I just used to sit next to Jamie Brown. Adam and basically, Adam one time did it with me. And he sat next to Jamie Brown. And I was like, Adam, that's great. I never knew you did that as well. That's what I do. I really bonded with Adam that day. I really thought, yeah, fucking hell, he is like me. And he just did it for that day, basically, because that's what I did. We just, like fucking Paul McCartney, just followed John. I thought, that really disheartened me, because then the next time, I went round, and that was what caused the sleepover, basically, because that really hurt Dan's feelings, and Adam could see how hurt he was, basically, because they weren't getting a go, they weren't in control. It's like, fuck off, mate. He's your big brother, Jamie. You've gone on about all these games to me, Dan, and then you said, I've got a big brother, Jay, and you never really spoke well of him. I just met him and I thought, that guy's a fucking hero of mine from the get-go. He had a great sense of humour. Every kid on his block loved him. You'd have kids coming in and out because they just felt safe around him. He just was a big guy who enjoyed his games and he was chilling. He was just chilling, mate. Everybody loved him. And he played his football. He got Dan Brown. So Dan Brown was really pleased to say, oh, I love my football as well. He didn't. It was Jamie Brown who loved this fucking football. Dan just used to tag along. I played football as well. It's like, you don't play football, mate. You never played a single fucking football game in your life. Name me one fucking player then. Name me one fucking player. Oh, don't play it like that. But Jamie could name you at least 6 players. Jamie Brown could. I just immediately respected him. I just used to sit next to him like a loyal little peanut, and I enjoyed watching him play because I thought, nobody here can play this fucking game better. I might as well just watch and learn instead of thinking I can do this better. All I'm going to do is fuck this up. He had great vision with it. I played the GTAs and I copied exactly how Jamie Brown did it. To the point of, so these two were in the fucking background one fucking sleepover or something or other. That was their answer to fucking, oh, but we'll have a sleepover with Dan. And I thought, yeah, that's great. I'll have a sleepover with Dan. Why? Because I can sit next to Jamie and show. And I'd already shown that affiliation. I didn't like you two. Jamie loved this. He loved that. Why? Because he felt the same. He had a younger brother. What? He's going to be really ashamed. What, my younger brother used to go on about how Jesse used to get in the bath with him. That's what happened. They used to bath together and he made out he used to bath her. It was disgusting. So I never talked about having a bath with my sister. Of course you have a bath with your sibling. I never discussed it with people. That was a personal thing between me and her. I don't fucking, you know, that's bath time in your house. There's nothing to do with you. When Dr. Carr did one thing, and this was my biggest guilt, mate, and I hated Dr. Carr for it. And you didn't understand it, nor did Laura. And it was the one thing I was really, you could see Adam was just basically walking all over me. You could just see it. It was walking all over. It could have been the day when, I think it was the day when he revealed the fact that he'd got you a fucking tiny little Viking boat for Christmas, and he was showing off his massive Viking vessel, basically, trying to make out he had a bigger cock than you did. No, he was always on the other side of me, as in he had the smaller of the two, and he used to hide behind me, and my Todger was Lewis Rock ran past after Jack Brown. I could stand with Keller Maisie, I could stand with Lewis Rock, I could stand with a lot of them, as in Adam was the one leading the way to go find out if Robert Costa, who actually had a bigger cock than Adams did. That's what my comment was. Oh, actually, he's got a bigger cock than Adams. That really pissed him off. I got very detailed on cock size, like Roy Keane did. The Bible in our home, Adam. That actually meant something to us. As you just were like, oh, it's just numbers on a screen, trying to make out. When you did mathematics and then you try and make out my love for football was because I love numbers on a screen. It's like, that was a main essential part of doing the football part. Why? Because it was like some fucking little kike came up with some smart little comment which he used on his sister time and time again. She never liked football because of Adam, when she was the one who literally, if she'd been given the confidence, if Adam wasn't there, basically, if Adam was out of the equation, she would have been the best footballer. She would have been better than Robert Carr. She would have improved it. She would have added extra bits, which you would have not seen coming, because that's what she always does. You think you're being so great teaching her something, she then immediately gets it and then fucking enhances it immediately. It's amazing. She always bettered things every time I fucking saw her do something. Like I said, I never saw somebody level a horse out in a jump. Did Adam ever fucking let you know that he never saw that either? I thought not. I just thought not. I just thought he's gonna celebrate the fact that he goes with her to this horse riding. He's never actually going to celebrate the fact that she looks brilliant at horse riding. She looked great. It was some of the best pictures I've ever seen of a show jumper. Like I said, I would flick onto the channel and fucking... It's very rigid. The fact that it's like a beautiful leap. It's like, wow, you just fucking look amazing. Not in any other way than that is a really scary, fucking talented skill. That no, I tried skateboarding, Laura, and every time, and that's what used to fucking spur me on, Laura, was you, basically, thinking, this is nothing compared to Laura. Basically, she makes this look easy. And that would just keep me going. I dislocated my knee trying to learn ollies. I rolled my ankle like 3 times trying to learn kick flips. The 3rd time was the worst time. Why? Because fucking, basically what happened was, I set myself my example board. And I really got into it. And I fucking did it the first time, had a nap because I did it the first time, I should have had a rest. And then fucking I got cramps without eating them. And then, I can't remember, the first time I did it with Anthony. I was on pre-gabs, really hurt, but you could tell it hurt a lot more than it should have done. I was just laughing it off, like, I know this is going to hurt tomorrow. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. I haven't eaten in a while. You know when you just cramp up? You ever had that where you just literally, you just cramp every time you like clench? Horrible. I guarantee you, Laura, yeah, we've had that. Dr. Carr's had that. Your mummy's had that. Do you think Adam's ever had that? Adam, who apparently it was so hard for him when I didn't say hello to him, he just ate loads of food. Did you ever see me just sit around and eat? Yeah, I ate food, Laura. But did you ever see me go, oh, it's so depressing, life's so hard, and I just ate loads of food and did nothing and looked like this fucking waste of space? All right, I took drugs, Laura. Yeah, I took a lot of them, but you have to admit I was always entertaining. There was always something I was doing, Laura, hey? There was always something. It might have been like, but I was always doing something. I was always trying to keep busy, always trying to, basically I was always trying to impress you, Laura. I thought, fucking, I've really fucked up here. I want to show to her that I didn't mean it, and I'm sorry, and she means everything to me. So I thought, just focus on trying to get jobs and keep yourself, as Mummy said, keep yourself within yourself. That's what I tried to do. The point of that was Terence Michael Lester's funeral. That was the point of, I could tell with Kelly, we were getting a bit too close. And I knew I had to tell her, because like I fell in love with her when I met her at the hospital, and I thought, shit, because of you. I thought she looks amazing. What made it easier is that I think I saw you, but I pretended like I did not see you. I was on a bike. I don't know if that helps. Going to the funeral. Take your mind back, I don't know when. Sometimes when it's, it's right there. You never listened to Joe Jackson, Laura. I used to say these subtle hints of like, because he just thought I was thick. So I just used to like take the piss out of the fact that he thought I was thick. I'd be like, I love Joe Jackson. They advocate smoking. He never checked out Joe Jackson once. Anybody like a keister would think, he's saying Joe Jackson. That might be a name worth checking out. No. That's why I had to play you Joe Jackson, Laura, just to show you what I meant. Joe Jackson was pretty fucking sick. Is she really going out with him? Is she really gonna take him home tonight? Is she really going out with him? 'Cause if my eyes don't deceive me, there's something going wrong around here. Around here. I've been going wrong around here. Around here. Great tune, Warrior, love it. It's just that really shows the bitterness of me. I'm sitting around basically thinking of you as you're with your big fella. Basically, it hurt me more than anybody. It comforted me more than anybody that you bucket. The only thing that gave me comfort was the fact that, you showed me how it was done. And you showed Adam how it was done. Because Adam never fucking did what you did, ever. And he had to learn social skills off me to do what he did. Either met people through friends. It's not like I met a lot of friends, Laura, as you can see. I could tell, she was a really fine lady, but it was not meant to be. Why? Because that's how much you meant to me, Laura. I was able to fucking respect people because of how much you meant. Adam never said that, even though he could see it all over me. I'd walk around in fucking brown shorts and a sweater, and I was like hanging around with groups of people he'd never fucking imagined talking to ever. At the point of Adam was like, why don't you play, man? It's like, mate, we've just brought Bud off them. They're listening to their music. It's almost like, we buy your Bud, then we fuck off away from them, and we're going to sing as if, like, our guitars are so much better than the music they're playing. Oh, fuck this. It's like you're taking the piss out of the people I just got Bud off for, you. To the point where, yeah, Adam felt really bad. Why? Because apparently it looked like I betrayed him in fucking like LA Noir when he went, "I'll go get the baggie." I was like, anybody wants his guitar. Why? Because I just fucking hated him. Nobody had the, but why? Because they knew personally, nobody defended you more, Adam. They never knew you. I brought, the only way they knew you was through me. And they could see, obviously, there was a reason for why I fucking had you around with me. That basically there must have been a bloody good reason. I mean, look at him, look what he's into, and then look who's bucking he's with. The guy who goes to get the baggies for them. Like, and he thinks he's doing this great thing. It was embarrassing, mate. I was embarrassed that he thought that he was like contribute. It was like, mate, you dick. You just fucking leave it to their own devices. Don't act like the fucking servant. You laugh at how I'm the stable nigger and I'm really stupid. It was the most idiot thing you could do. We were here to get a weed. We weren't here to provide them baggies, Adam. We were just here to grab a weed and fuck off. Then I had to hang around with them while you went off to your superior fucking house to get your superior baggies. And you really felt like you were calm with the fine opium smoking German lady. I could feel it all over because of the fact that you heard what I said when you were going to get the baggies for your friend. I just thought, you fucking idiot. But we were meant to chill together. You've sucked up to people I've fucking helped you get bud through. You sucked up to them that much that now I'm with them, chilling with them like it's old times. I thought, you know what, rip the cunt, because I was meant to chill with you. We were meant to grab this fucking bud and fuck off. You just were embarrassing, Adam. And all I know is that from having such embarrassing fucking experiences with that kike, it's going to be the absolute opposite with Laura. It'll be like, she will literally do the absolute opposite. Why? Because she was that one like with Ruben and all them kikes. She was that one who fucking I could really see. She's the only one who actually looked over and actually felt sorry for me. Why? Because she loved me, mate. She loved what I did for Adam, and she saw that I was just a fucking basically somebody he could just push around. Look who I've got as a friend. You know, this guy who none of them could stare at me in the fucking eyes when they were on the street alone. Yeah, that guy. You know. Mummy loved the fact that that little kike who went out of his way to really twist the knife in Reuben ended up having to wait for the bus at the bus stop as you walked home. You know, you actually just walked. I fucking hate taxis, Laura. I haven't used a bus in years. Why? Because you can just fucking walk down the street. Loved walking. Why? Because it's just a great way to travel around and exercise at the same time. Comfortable little faggot boy bastardizes that. And he only went on a walk when he took acid, and he really celebrated his walk to the point where it was like, I ran it. I had to run that way because of the fact that I just couldn't imagine him for any longer like celebrating this walk like he was the one who found it. Lisa Everly used to go that way all the time. Fuck off. Down Mill Estate. And basically it's the pussy way of Mill Estate. It's where the fucking Ponce goes with his fucking poodle. Well, he can talk on the phone after it. You never went through Mill Estate, did you, Adam? I live in it. Laura did a paper round in it. She knows exactly where I live. You've never fucking taken a step on my fucking patio. And what was more, everybody loved Laura. Like, they saw what she did for me. They were like, basically, I had a crowd of people in the windows thinking, oh, this lady's beautiful. And they really thought, oh, he's fucking earned this. To the point where Michelle, because I just had no self-worth, she thought I didn't care about you. And she looked me in the eyes and she could see, no, I fucking care about her, Michelle. And she just immediately smiled because she could see, no, he's just an idiot. He's fucked up and he's gutted. But you just had to know that it wasn't just like, oh, fucking, I was just being heartless, like we'd had some kind of thing and I was pretending that I didn't know you. No, she had to fucking go down the street with a German Shepherd next time I came out my house to fucking check. And I just gave her a look in the eyes to say, mate, I was really fucking gutted, Michelle. I didn't know whether I should run outside, I didn't know what to do. I got really confused, and I thought, I've made these mistakes in the past. I don't want to start. I don't want to scare her. I just had a wank. I was very horny over you then. It was just like, Gary Speed, yeah, Adam's idea. Gary Speed, yeah, your idea was just knock on the door. Gary Speed, yeah, Gary fucking Speed, that Laura said, I'm just going to knock on his door because he's fucking let me in, basically. And he said, oh, go above and beyond. Fucking got this fucking... But your idea was brilliant, Laura. He basically just divided to the point where I'd be driving past with Tone, thinking, oh, fuck, that's Laura. And I just did not know what to... I didn't know if I should be jumping out the car, telling Tone, stop the car now. Or... I just didn't want to fucking startle you. It made things so complicated. I mean, if you just knocked on the door like you thought was the best idea, I would have been like over the moon to answer that door and see you. It would have been like a dream come true, mate. He fucked that up for us as well.